So let's just sit tight for 1 second. Okay, Paris is here. Bihan. Anaya. Perfect. So we got a short little, well, not short, but small class today. Cool. Yeah, so let's just get started then. My name is Miss Kinga, so I'll be running the seminar today with you guys, and we just have 3 people today. So if anyone in particular, does anyone want to go first? And if not, that's okay. I'll just pick a random order. So, all right, no takers. I'm just gonna go in the order of this so everyone can see their names here. We're all here. So let's go ahead and start with Paris. If you could go ahead and unmute yourself, introduce yourself and your piece. Make sure your original sound is on as well. And then you can start whenever you're ready.
My original song. Hello, good afternoon everyone. My name is Paris Tran and I'm going to be playing Bells at My Joy.
Oh, I was unmuted. Woohoo, very nice, very nice. I've never heard this song, but it sounds really, really nice. Is this this isn't the original, right?
I actually don't know. My teacher, I think she rewrote it in like an easier way. I think she said.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, I see. Yeah. Arranged by Nancy. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, it has a very nice melody. So, how long were you learning this song?
I actually practiced this to play for last AVA Hall performance,
Oh, okay.
the World Festival.
The World. Yeah, I heard about that one. Awesome. Yeah, it's sounding really nice. So, what do you feel like you did well in this performance, particularly?
I think I actually did the rhythm well and the notes.
Yeah, really, really good. I'd say overall performance. I don't really see any dynamics, so I guess that's something maybe you guys worked out or talked about probably in your lessons. But yeah, the balance between the right hand and left hand, very good, very good. All right. Well, let's take it to Vihan. And we'll talk about some movement in all of your guys' pieces at the second part of today. So yeah, Vihan, go ahead and introduce yourself and your piece, and whenever you're ready, you can start playing.
Hello, my name is Bihan Kumar and I'm playing Dance of the Merry Seahorse by Julie Kerr Hag.
All right. Nice job. Good job, Bihan. Another solid performance. So this one, what is that? Oh, little seahorse. For this one, what did you feel like was challenging when you were learning this piece?
It pretty much was easy.
Everything? Nothing a little challenging?
Nope.
Okay. Um, and you weren't doing this from memory, so that was fine. And then I wanted to see a little bit this. Can you play this last note again for me?
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds. Yeah, okay. Just wanted to double check maybe because it sounded really low, but yeah, that is a pretty low note. Cool. Very good. What was one thing you felt good about in this performance?
Uh, um, yeah, it was good.
What was that?
It was good.
Just everything
Yeah.
overall? Anything specific? Maybe like I don't know, the left hand balance with the right hand or um holding the notes the right amount value. Anything more specific like that?
Nope, not really.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll talk a little bit more here about some of your movement later on. And then let's take it to Anaya. Last but not least, go ahead and introduce yourself and your piece.
Um, I'm Anaya and I'm gonna play a short story by Ferdinand Bayer.
All right, very nice, very nice. Everybody had a
So,
very solid performance today. So nice job, everyone. And you were doing that from memory, right?
yeah.
Perfect. All right. So, let's see here. Well, you're my student, so I know mostly probably what you would say about what was the hardest part and all that. But how about what did you like about your performance, right? Because this is your second performance, right?
Yeah. Well, I liked the tune and I kind of had fun playing it.
Okay, that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah, and it is, although there's, just two lines and the melody is somewhat repetitive here, the left hand changes a bit. So I remember over here this was a little bit difficult um in particular, but yeah, I thought it sounded great. Very good. So let's start off with your piece just because we did that one last. So your piece actually it doesn't have too much of anywhere where we have to move our hand or stretch a finger or something like that. So what I wanted to actually talk about in your piece is something that's happening with the melody. So if you know the answer, just because it's your piece, let maybe the other two students, if they know the answer, they can answer first. So this little motif right here, right, when she started playing the da, 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 this is gonna be moved around a little bit. And then we can see, right, going up 3 steps, down a skip, same thing, starting on a different note, and then it does it again, right? So does anybody know what this would be called? Maybe the musical device name, if you've ever seen this before. Or have you guys ever even seen this before in any of your pieces?
Um,
Where the motif is just being moved around like that?
Is it about the steps?
Like how each time, right? So here we're starting the the motif on E.
Yeah.
The next one, right, the pink one, we're starting the motif on D. And then lastly, we started on C. Right, so each starting note is just being lowered by one step, and then everything else in this little musical idea, right, is just being shifted by a step as well. So when I say motif, do you guys know what I mean by that? It's okay not to know, because I can tell you guys. No? Okay. So a motif, right? A motif is just a short musical idea that we have. I would say every song has one. So a short musical idea. And here you can see it's very short, right? Just one measure. And that motif, right? That musical idea is being moved by step and then again moved by step. So we could go over a few things in this. This is a little bit more complicated of a concept, but when you move something, right, when you have something in a specific key and then you move it down by step or maybe up by step, do you know what that is called? Have you guys heard of that term or not yet? Thumbs up, thumbs down. No? Okay, I'll assume no. I saw a couple nods going no. So that would be called transposition. Right, so when you transpose something, that means move up, down by step, skip. It can be any interval really, right? In this case, we're just doing by step. So it's being transposed by a step, transposed by a step, right? They're still keeping the same distances between the notes in each little box, right? You see how each little box we go up 3 steps, down a skip, up 3 steps, down a skip, up 3 steps, down a skip. So overall, this whole concept of just that motif being transposed down like that in the melody is called a sequence. We're having a sequence of notes here. So let me just write that as the last thing for here. So even though your piece didn't have any crazy movement, we have this sequence happening right over here by step. I should put by step. Sequence by step. And then by step right here as well. To be even more specific, I could put step down, but we don't really have to go that far to say that. Awesome. So do you guys have any questions specifically on like what a motif is or what to transpose means or a sequence? Like anything I can clarify or maybe give another example of? You guys feel good about it?
What's interval?
Oh, so an interval is, so when you have, for example, here in this piece, let me try to find, let's look at this. So these two notes, right? The relation of these two notes, like the distance of them, that would be a second. So I'm not sure if you've learned that yet, but yeah, that's what I mean by interval.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I just forgot.
The specific name, yeah. So when I say you can transpose it to like any interval away, you know, you could move it by a third or a fourth, a fifth, something like that. We just don't have names for those intervals like we would for a second, like a step, and then a third is a skip. So yeah, cool. So that's the first one. And then let's take a look at, so Vihan's piece had quite a bit of movement, but I like to just choose the kind of the first one that I see. So right off the bat, right, in the second measure, there's something going on right here.
I know what that's called.
Okay, so give us 1 second. I want to see if anyone else knows the answer to this one, but keep that to yourself for 1 second. Would you guys know Anaya or Paris? Like, what movement would that be from the 1 to the 2?
It looks like the step down tree.
Yeah, so that is another kind of name for it. And Anaya, we actually haven't done too much movement specifically yet, but yeah, it is going a step down, but not kind of the normal way that you would just go like from one finger to the next, right? So on this move, you actually have to do this with your second finger. So Paris, do you know? No? Okay, Vihan, thank you for waiting patiently.
Called a pivot crossover.
Pivot crossover, very nice. So this crossover is a little, it has an extra word in there, right? The pivot. Can you tell us why, Vihan?
Because
I'll draw the
because
symbol.
you cross your finger bit, like you cross it like this.
Yeah, you cross it over like this, right? But we're going back. We're going back to our same position. So we're not actually
So
moving
like
the
it's
whole
like
hand
this.
down.
Like that.
Mm-hmm. Very good, very good. Yeah, I think everyone should give this a try. So the notes that we have, so we're on a C 5-finger scale in the right hand. So Paris and Anaya, if you guys can try that on your piano, right? So put your hand in a C 5-finger scale, and then we're gonna try the pivot crossover. So it's where your second finger is gonna cross over your first finger to the left side. And it looks exactly like this. Very nice, Paris. Anaya, can you give it a try? It's okay if you're not 100% sure how to do it. I know we haven't done it before. So. Do you have your original sound on? Oh yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay.
Beautiful. Very nice. So there you go. You just learned something new today. All right, and then last but not least, we'll go over one more movement in Paris's piece. So boom, let's take a look. So the first one I think that I saw in your piece was right in the second measure, or actually first measure. First complete measure, right? So that would be another concept to talk about. Oh wait, hold on. Nope, just ignore everything I just said. Poof. Second measure, right here. I was looking at it wrong. So let's take a look at what this note right here, right? How do we get our 4 to where our 5 originally would be in a 5-finger scale? So the floor is open if anyone wants to answer, right? Because we're starting in a C 5-finger scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our 5 would normally be on G, but we have a 4 here. So how are we getting our 4 there? Does anyone know the name of that move? You want to get this 4th finger farther. So what is that I'm doing? Or how about if I'm doing this? I'm tired. I need a stretch. Exactly. Yes. So in this case, right, to you, probably it's a little more natural already. You've been playing this piece for some time, so maybe you haven't thought about it like this yet. So here, we would actually call this, I always have trouble drawing the stretches. So give me 1 second. It's kind of like that, like a moon, I guess. Like that. So this would be called specifically a single stretch, right? Because the fourth finger is just moving up by one key. So let's have everybody try that. If Paris, you want to try that first, just because this is your piece, can give us.
The C to the G.
Yep, with the 1 and the 4.
Okay.
Yep, very good. And then anyone else, if Vihan or Anaya, you guys want to try that one?
Hey, okay, I'll try it.
All right, awesome.
All right. Okay, what's the hand position?
So still see 5-finger scale for your right hand. You can just do the right hand.
So,
Yeah, good. And then what finger did you land on?
A 2.
2. Yeah, so you're in that stretch position, very good. So then actually I'm looking ahead and yeah, I'm gonna bring something up a little later, but Anaya, if you want to give that a try.
Okay.
Yeah. And you also put the 4 on G?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So just as a little extra thing really quick, I think this is very interesting. I wasn't planning to talk about this, but this would be good for you guys to also learn if you haven't. Over here, you'll see the 5 is now back to normal, right? Back to the G. So something that I'm actually not 100% sure what the movement would be called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but we could draw something like this, like just a line kind of telling us, hey, we're going back to our regular 5-finger position. The 5 is going back to where it would normally be in the C 5-finger scale, right? So I'll check out what the name of that would be for next time, but just wanted to point out that a little bit later in the song, we're going back to our C 5-finger position, no stretches. But yeah, there's a lot of stretches kind of going on throughout the whole song. Like you can see even here for the left hand, right? Your 1 has to stretch by 1 from the G to the A. So there's a lot of movements I'd say we could talk about here. But yeah, do you guys have any questions about the stretch or the crossover, the pivot crossover? All good. All right. Well, very nice work today, guys. Good participation. Thank you for playing and having your cameras on, and I will see you maybe in another Kaizen or performance, okay? Have a good day.